I recently found out that I had a stroke along with a seizure. So is that why my leg is hyperextended? And can I be healed? I know it may not be totally healed, but at least off my cane. What I would want to know is if your knee hyperextended before the seizure. So I'm wondering if you had the stroke and then there was some time between the stroke and the seizure, if that's why you're mentioning the seizure. If it's the stroke that caused the knee hyperextension, I will say it all depends. I would have to kind of see you walk, and it just depends how long it's been hyperextending, how much attention how long you're able to attend to a task. That really matters. How good you are at self-correcting, your body awareness. If someone has good body awareness, they can attend to a task for a prolonged period of time. They can stay attended to a task with distractions, meaning out in public. Then usually, yes. And actually, I have someone right now that can do it pretty well. And initially, his knee hyperextended, pretty much all the time, I think, when he was walking. And now it doesn't hyperextend at all. But he has to think about it, and he can keep a slight bend in it. So what we did was we started with that crouch walking where he kept the knee really bent, because it's really hard to control the knee as you get closer to fully straight. So we overly bend it to start, learn how to load the leg with the knee overly bent. And then once you can accept your body weight on that leg with the knee bent, then we start to straighten it out and start loading that leg with it a little bit straighter. Once you can do that in a controlled environment, meaning minimal distractions, only at that point do we start trying to incorporate distractions. Maybe practice that same walking without the knee hyperextending out in public or around other people. If that does not work at all, then usually what I recommend is either an AFO with a plantar flexion stop. So that means that the foot can't point. We put it in about 10 degrees of dorsiflexion. When you set the brace so that it can't point and it's like that, that bends the knee because it keeps this part of the leg a little bit tilted forward. So that's one strategy that we use, or a knee cage. A knee cage is not ideal because they tend to slide. They don't really stay in place. So that's why I mentioned the AFO. And there's some people that they can do it. They practice in their house with the crouch walking and everything I just said, but they notice that when they go out in public, they just can't do it. They can't maintain it because they can't think about keeping the knee bent with all the distractions. So then we will use a tool like an AFO out in public, but they would still keep working on in their house, walking with the knee, keeping the knee bent or preventing it from hyperextending in their house without any brace or anything on it. And then you just keep building, you keep practicing, throw some distractions in your home, maybe turn the TV on, have some family around or talking, something, throw in some kind of a distraction at home, and then start working on that condition before you take it out into the real world, which is what I call like an uncontrolled environment. So long story short, yes, in some cases, yes, but it does depend on the person.
If you liked that video and you want to learn more exercises on how to improve your walking, definitely check out this video over here or that video over there. If you want even more help, check out our gold membership program where you'll get access to over 300 exercises that are not here on YouTube, as well as access to our monthly lives where you can get your questions answered.